Good morning, students. I hope you people are well. Today we are going to continue the next topic of lesson 6, that is DNA. As I told that day only, that we are having basically two types of genetic material such as your DNA and RNA. Along with that, children, protein is also going to act as a genetic material in lower organism. Let us see the DNA. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, or children, we will see the general structure of DNA. Before that, let us see the introduction part, as it is included in the nucleic acid. Okay, and except certain viruses and certain prokaryote organism, rest all consist of your DNA. Some cell organelles of eukaryotes such as mitochondria, chloroplast, also certain DNA as a principal genetic material. History, as already we had seen in the introduction part before this particular video. Before that, already I had explained you that Faraday mixture, he was the one who had discovered the nuclein from the pus cell. Okay, and after that, the Altman, he gave the word your nucleic acid. Okay, children. Then Emil Fischer, he told about the purines and pyrimidines. Purines, they are the double ring compound, okay, and pyrimidines are single ring compound, that we will see in future, that next coming to the next topic. Then children, purine consists of your AG, that is adenine and guanine. Pyrimidine consists of your cytosine, thymine and uracil. Okay, children, always one purine is going to be bound with the pyrimidine, always. Okay, that is fixed. Then so many different scientists, they had worked on that, and they gave their descriptions as per their research. Next see children, location. On the basis of location, the DNA in prokaryote, it is considered as two types. One is your nuclear DNA, another one is your extranuclear DNA. And children, this DNA in prokaryotes, generally it is found in circular double strand. And what happens in prokaryotes, it will be generally known as your plasmids. Okay, in prokaryotes, generally DNA is found in cytoplasm, as I said, and it will be circular double stranded structure. Circular double stranded structure means, suppose this is your bacteria, so inside that what happens, somewhere here it will be arranged in this coiled form. Likewise it will be, but it will be in a coiled form. Okay, children, so within the cell it will be there. But in eukaryotes, it is of two types. One is your nuclear DNA, another one is your extranuclear DNA. This nuclear DNA, this is generally your protein molecules which is associated with the DNA. Next one is the extranuclear DNA. This one is generally found inside the mitochondria and chloroplast when we talk about the eukaryotes. But when we talk about the prokaryotes, it will resemble the structure with the DNA of the prokaryotes. Okay, children. And this type of DNA is generally present in your viruses. What is the chemical composition? Only three things are there in the DNA. The first thing is your phosphate. Okay, the first thing is your phosphate. In the phosphate, as you can see, the general formula P double bond O, that is phosphate. Okay, children, and it is going to be bound with one ribose sugar. This ribose sugar is known as your, see there, deoxyribose sugar. In this, children, as you can see this structure, it is a pentagonal structure, that is pentamerous structure, 5 carbon compound structure, and here children only one O is missing, that's why it is known as deoxyribose sugar. If you will add one O here at this point, then it will be known as your ribose. Okay, children. Then as I said already, the purines are double ring compound, so this is your double ring compound. Okay, and in that adenine and guanine is included. So as you can see in this, one hexagonal ring is there. Along with the hexagonal ring, here somehow it will be one pentagonal ring. Okay, children. So these three things are present. When we talk, suppose phosphate, okay, sugar plus nitrogen base, that three will combine together to form nucleotide. If your phosphate is not there, only sugar and nitrogen base is there, then that will be known as your nucleoside. Very important children, keep remember. Nucleoside, nitrogen base and sugar. Nucleotide, along with this one phosphorus is going to bound up. Along with this, one phosphorus is going to bound up, and that will be known as your nitrogen base. Okay children, these three combined together is known as your nucleotide. If this thing is missing, then it will be known as your nucleoside. I hope everybody had understood this one. Already told this one. See children, DNA, deoxyribonucleotides. Deoxyribonucleotide is again divided into your nitrogen base and pentose sugar. Okay. So here when we talk about the nitrogen base, purine and pyrimidine, as I said, purine consists of adenine, guanine, pyrimidine consists of thymine and cytosine. Children, in case of your some particular exceptions are there. Always the bonding used to take place with A with T, G with C. AT will have double bond, GC will have triple bond. Here children, sometimes what happens, in place of this T, it is going to be replaced by C. It is going to be replaced by C. In some case, sorry. It is going to be replaced by U. Going to be replaced by U. Okay children, keep remember this one. A double bond U, some cases, okay, in lower organisms. Let us see. Phosphate group, 5 carbon compound, as you can see clear structure is there. If book is not along with you people, not available with you, just take the screenshot and prepare this one in your notebook. Okay children. Then children, on the basis of that, nucleosides can be given as different names. Deoxyadenosine, deoxygluconisine, then deoxycytidine and thymidine. Means on the basis of your nitrogen base, their name can be changed. Same thing, nucleotide also, on the basis of their name only it had been changed. Deoxyadenalic, deoxygluconalic, after that and so on. And children, what happens children, when the breakdown will take place, they will release that much amount of energy, equivalent amount of energy. Okay. Now, let us see the important topic. Molecular structure of DNA, that is Watson and Crick model. J.D. Watson and your F.H.C. Crick, in the year 1953, they had work on it. And in the year 1962, they got the Nobel Prize for their work. What they had told? They had told about the particular function of that or the characteristics of that particular model. The first thing they had told, that is 2 polypeptide chain, that is 2 polynucleotide chain. Here always it will be in double helical structure, as you can see here. This is the figure. Okay children, as you can see here. Always the strand will have 3 5 N and 5 3 N. That is anti-parallel strand will be there. If A to Z we are considering one strand, so another one will be your Z to A. In that manner the bonding will be there. Okay children. Then after that, next important point, as I said, it will have a nucleotide pairs. So when we will see one helical means from here to here, as you can see, always that will be your 10 base pairs. 10 base pairs means both the strand will have 10 base pairs. Bonding will be there. And in this children, 2 groups are there. One is your minor groups, another one is your major group. Major group will have 10 Armstrong difference and the diameter is 20 Armstrong. Each base pair will have the difference of 3.4 Armstrong. between 10 Armstrong, between 10 nucleotide base pairs, 34 Armstrong difference is there. Always the pairing will be with adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. Adenine and thymine will always form the double bonded structure, and guanine and cytosine will always form the triple bond structure. The bonding is going to take place by the phosphodiester bond, okay. Just go through, children. I had told already all the points. And children, one more thing. When two DNA strands are going to form, always it will be complementary. Suppose you are standing in a row from 1 to 10. The next row will be 10 to 1. So pairing will be with 1 to 10. Okay. Then second to 9 and so on, that pairing is going to take place. I hope everybody had understood this Watson and Crick. Shall I summarize once again? Just see, children. J.D. Watson and F.H.C. Crick in 1953, they had gave the model of Watson and Crick, and they had told about certain characteristics of DNA. Then the next point they had told, that is, they got the Nobel Prize in the year 1962 for that. What they had told? They had told that it is the composed of polynucleotide chain and it is spirally coiled structure. It is the backbone, that is the backbone of the chain consists of alternative sugar and phosphate molecule. 3', 5' and 5', 3' antiparallel strands will be there, that will be oriented antiparallelly. Phosphodiester bond is present in between your deoxyribose sugar and your particular phosphorus or phosphoric acid or phosphate. Okay, children. Then after that, see, hydrogen bonding is going to take place always. Adenine is going to bound with the thymine and guanine is going to bound with the cytosine. Adenine and thymine will have double bond. Guanine and cytosine will have triple bond. Diameter of DNA will be 20 Armstrong and the length of one turn, that is for 10 base pair, will be 34 Armstrong. That's why between two base pair, always the difference will be your 3.4. 10 divided by 34. So you will get 3.4. Types of DNA on the basis of number of strand, it is two types, single stranded and double stranded. Example is your Faj, so 174, 174 and double stranded all the eukaryotes and prokaryotes. On the basis of number of nucleotides, DNA is classified into four types, okay. A DNA, B DNA, C DNA and your T DNA. A DNA is generally your 11 nucleotides per turn. B, just now what you had studied, that is your 10 nucleotides, and C will be 9.33 nucleotides per turn, and D will be your 12. D will be your 12. So, A 11, B 10, C 9.33 and D is your 12. Keep remember, children, on the basis of number of nucleotides it had been classified. This is the structure. Detailed structure, as you can see here in the figure, A and T is showing the double bond, G and C is showing the triple bond, and always the bonding is going to take place here. And as you can see, the corners 5', 3', and this side, right hand side 3', 5'. This is parallel, this is anti-parallel. Okay, children. Then after that, children, at the backbone, as I said in the theoretical portion, so sugar and phosphate is present at the corners of both the side, both the helix, and at the middle you will get the nitrogen base. Next important thing, DNA replication. This one, children, DNA replication. Here, as double helical structure will start uncoiling and so many processes are needed. Okay, before I start that one, first we will see the types of DNA replication. Okay, types of DNA replication and site of DNA replication. In all the eukaryote organism, the S phase of the cell is responsible for that. That is the meiotic phase of the cycle will be responsible. And in prokaryotes, this process will be carried out in the cytoplasm. Types of the DNA replication, three methods are there: dispersive, conservative and semi-conservative. When we talk about the dispersive, in the helix what happens, there will be small fragmentation. That is your dispersive method. Conservative method, what it is, children? In this 50% of molecules will be conserved from the parental strand. And semi-conservative, as I said, double helical structure will be there. So from that double helical structure, one helical structure will be passed to the next generation. Suppose, see, children, this is your double helical. So when the process will be carried out, the new will be your Suppose this is one strand, so another strand will be likewise. So in this manner what happened, this is the parental one, the blue one. So along with the purple one will be your offspring one, that is your new strand. Along with the old strand is your blue one. So in that manner what happened, it will start forming the new offsprings, and there you will get the new strands. So this is the semi-conservative method. What are the enzymes used? The first enzyme used is your, so many enzymes are used, total 6 types of enzymes or 6 processes are involved. The first one is your unwinding protein. Unwinding DNA proteins are there. Then after that second one, primase or RNA polymerase are there. That is known as your formation of primer. The third one is your RNA primer for initiation of synthesis of DNA fragments. Then polymerase enzyme is there. Polymerase is of 3 types, polymerase 1, polymerase 2 and polymerase 3. Then DNA ligase is there. That ligase basically it will combine that smaller fragments into larger one. Then nuclease, if any defective segments had been formed, that had been removed out. Once again I am discussing the enzymes for DNA replication. First one is your unwinding protein. You people know very well, 2 spirals have been tied together, and when you will unwind, what happens? Again the spiral will come to its exact position. Exactly it will not come, but somehow again it will coil. So to maintain that particular tension is there, or that vibration is there in between that two. So to reduce the tension of the DNA strand, what they used to do, they will use certain binding protein that will act at the particular fork, and it will form, suppose this is your strand, this is your strand, okay children. So here that protein is going to act, and what it will do, it doesn't allow this two to come closer, and it will make one Y-shaped fork. Y-shaped fork. So this Y-shaped fork, again they will go for the further DNA synthesis. Okay children. Then next one is your primase or RNA polymerase, known as your primer. In this children, what happens, small segments of your nitrogen base will come, and that will join together to form a new strand. Same thing, RNA polymerase and your RNA primer. So this formation is going to take place by primase or RNA polymerase, and this RNA primer, that will bring that small DNA fragment, and it will join by the help of DNA ligase, and DNA polymerase, it will be responsible for the complete synthesis of the strand. Then nucleus, it will go for the proofreading. After proofreading means before proofreading this process will be carried out, and it will cut small DNA strands. Then mechanism of DNA replication. Children, this one we will learn in next class. I hope everybody had understood before that what I had taught.